Hello everybody. It's been ages since I actually streamed, so I think the audio is maybe not balanced. Let me bring that down a tiny bit. But hello. I was all geared up, ready to go. I should have been on the plane right now, you know? Should have been on the plane. But that's okay. Everything got shifted around, and actually LSS planned for potential flight delays, so everyone was arriving a day early anyway. And while that does suck, because it means I don't get like a day to tour around Auckland, especially since Sandra was coming with me, we had like literally already plans on how to spend our day in Auckland. So we lose that day, and I basically, jump right into the thick of the actual organized events, and it just becomes like a work trip pretty immediately. But that's okay. Still get to make it. It's not like I've missed the Celebrational, to be clear. But with a free afternoon, I get to at least pop up on stream because, hey, truly, I've been busy. I've been legitimately busy. So this is a free afternoon. I didn't think I had it, right? So why not actually spend it with the stream, everybody? Also, there's some kind of bug. You can see it. The chat text is supposed to pop up. However, because I have like a live stream right now, and then also the premiere of the spoiler video, it's like, I don't know why it won't work correctly, but it's pulling the live chat on screen from the spoiler video. So unfortunately, chat won't be on stream unless I actually click on it like this. So, oh well. Couldn't figure out all the kinks in time. But hello, Emkador. Yeah, the darn flight. General Schwartz, Legends of Runeterra. Great game. The man, the myth, the man Sant. And Joshua Scott, who is right now in New Zealand. I've been trying to get the time conversion down, so let's see. It is 12 a.m. New Zealand time right now. Is that right? It's midnight for you, Josh? Is that right? Trying to do all the mental maths, because we were trying to figure things out pre-flight. Sandra specifically has like some US-based due dates and stuff. Hijacking chat right now. Oh, yep, see, there you go. On the YouTube chat for the Lego reveal. If you type, it'll pop up. So that's what we've got going on. Oh, wait, 12 afternoon. Oh, 12 in the afternoon. Okay, 6 hours, and then you swap it. That makes sense, yeah. It wouldn't be AM, it wouldn't be midnight, because you got to swap the PM. Okay, cool. Well, everybody, I don't have much of like, energy in me to really play games. I think I wasn't planning on it. I don't have like any lists I've been tinkering with. My whole approach to heavy hitters has been to just, kind of work and then get around to messing around with the cards when there's going to be a busy couple of weeks. Kind of once that's over, get back into the game and play a bit more. So I don't have any spicy brews. I don't have too many spicy takes even. I did that podcast with the Push the Point guys, with some of the other Brute players, and we talked about some of our, very initial thoughts on Brute stuff. So that was a great time, and I can definitely like regurgitate some of that on stream. But I figured we can just hang out. I can talk through some, really cool projects that are going on, some updates, and then sign off in time for you all to port over to the 8 o'clock stream from the Card Guys, because a good friend Will Bradshaw is streaming at 8, and so I don't want to conflict with that, really. Release notes are out for existing previewed cards. Oh, maybe that's spicy to go over. Let me see. Where did those get released? I'm on the FabTCG website. FabTCG website. Where do you find release notes? It's a good question. There's a Celebrational FAQ. Oh, that's new. I have not seen that. I guess that's where the new weapons came from and the new seller initiative. Okay, so I saw bits of that. Overall, I'm trying to find this release notes. Release notes. Maybe if I just Google it, it'll work. Release notes, heavy hitters. pre-release weekend FAQ. Nope, that's an old article. All right, well, I'll just wait for Josh to tell me where that actually is. Scribble Nibble says, as much as it sucks that you got delayed, I'm sure people are excited to see you streaming as you are. Well, thank you, first of all. It is very humbling to even have been asked in the first place, because New Zealand is like, it was a stretch goal for a while of eventually, I want to make it out there. Eventually I want to see, where the game was created, hopefully visit the LSS offices, do some cool stuff. And it all just has kind of tumbled into being very quickly, mind you, very quickly. I didn't really know about the Celebrational for too much time before the other people, I don't think. Maybe that's not true. I probably knew before most others just because they needed, to talk about some of the streaming stuff. But it really doesn't feel like I've known for that long, and it just is happening so quickly, which is really fun. And I'm definitely treating it more as like a work trip. I'm like, me personally, I'm bringing all the streaming gear, flying all that. And then I'm legitimately streaming for 5 days straight, including 2 setups, 2 teardowns, and then a domestic flight as well from Auckland to New Zealand. So it's cool, but I'm trying not to get too lost in the, the feels of, oh man, this is so blissful. I get to just kick back and enjoy dreams coming true. I do get to do that part, but I also have to stay pretty checked in because it's work. For me, it's going to be a lot of work. For everyone else, it will be fun. It won't be stressful at all. For me, hopefully not stressful, but it will be work. And it does, man, that's why it hurts a little bit more than normal to miss that one day, because that was going to be a real free day to be able to get there one day early. Oh well. You heard James buried 20 cold foil hearts behind the LSS building. Well, is that the old LSS building or the new LSS building? Because they have a brand new location, which just finished. I got to see, if you ever saw Fabled Hunter's coverage of the office as it was being built, man, it looked fantastic, but it was definitely not ready last time the public saw it. So this time it will be furnished. People are actually working there. Josh might be there. Maybe Josh is in there right now. Let's see. Josh even says game rules and policy, release notes, heavy hitters. Oh yes, they are out now. Oh, we might be the first ones to be able to cover this. Let's see. Did I set up these screens correctly? Who knows? I did. Beautiful. I haven't lost the touch. All right. Release notes preview. This may be the first coverage of release notes ever. I'll get to some other questions in the chat as well. We're low key. We're low key today. Like I said, I wasn't expecting to have a free afternoon and have some time before Will starts streaming. So we're just gonna hang out, talk. You can ask me any questions. The chat feature is really annoying though. It is not working. Maybe I can do. You know what I can do real quick? I can set up an impromptu screen capture. Let's do window capture. Let's do a new one. YouTube. Okay. Let's choose this. All right, we're gonna impromptu get the chat on screen for the people who can't be here live. Oh man, that is very hard to read. All right, well, it's impromptu for a reason. I'll make it large. There we go, everybody. Now you can be seen. Beautiful. That's why I'm the producer, baby. 2-second fix. All right, release notes preview. The list of cards for release notes of heavy hitters is incomplete. Damn right. You better hope it's incomplete, because I want a lot more out of this set. Tell you what, I'm so stoked for this set. Not just brute support. I'm in love with Olympia. I understand all the NPC takes about Olympia. Design-wise, he's basically like a copy-paste gladiator. Very basic. Or I guess Spartan, I don't know, however you want to call it. But for whatever reason, I'm just hella drawn to Olympia. I've always loved gladiator like style, just like, like maybe not even art, but like Lego was a thing that I did a lot when I was little, which is, we're actually coming like full circle to that now with the stop animation I did. But I would always, build stuff related to not so much like medieval, but truly like Roman era, gladiatorial stuff, and like, Mediterranean inspired like fights and things. Like that was always the aesthetic I really, really enjoyed. And I would doodle nonstop in school. I would draw these like incredibly detailed, I think, for a child at least, these top-down gladiator battles. It's like so weird. I don't even know how I'm telling this, but I would like on a piece of paper draw top-down gladiator arenas and just like, sketch out like a lion that was stabbed, like, these two dudes fighting in the corner, and just like mapping it all out in a gladiator arena for whatever reason I was fixated on as a kid. So I just enjoy the idea of Olympia. Like he really is the tie-in from like the real world way that gladiator arenas run to the Wraith world. It's not just like brutes running around. Brutes unfortunately aren't real. But dudes like Olympia, they're legit. So I'm stoked. I also like the idea of Victor and Betsy. I'm really glad it wasn't a reprint Guardian. Some people are talking about Valda, and sure enough, the text box might have been like slightly different because she does reference Crush cards, which were probably not coming in the set, but it still could have been like a Valda reprint. But now we have so much life in the Guardian class. Betsy and Victor, wow. I mean, just overall, Heavy Hitters seems so cool to me. And like the Brute hype is not even what's got me most excited. It's like Olympia, the fact that there's so much Guardian variety, and then like, by the way, sugar on top, there's going to be, or cherry on top, there's going to be some Brute support. I'm pretty stoked. You have your doubts about Olympia. The simple text will make him as strong as Ira, but he looks like he'll be stuck with cards from the set. That is one thing that I do fear as well. The new heroes that have text boxes tied to like printed keywords probably won't be that good in like general classic constructed, which is a little annoying, right? Because there's no nuance you can bring to deck building if legitimately you like are stuck with a very mediocre card or like Clash card pool or like Wager card pool. Which is, that part's a bit unfortunate. I'll agree there, but I've got faith in LSS. Like, hopefully the core set of cards that we get around those keywords will be strong. And then with the expansion slot, if there is a glaring hole, well, heck, maybe for the next, like, 2 sets this year, Clash gets, an expansion slot card per set. Wager gets an expansion card slot per set. And that's really, that's a great way to like trickle feed some upgrades. So I understand that fear for sure. I do. Yeah. All right, let's dig into it. Release notes preview. General notes. Heavy Hitters contains 255 cards, 1 Fabled, 5 Legendary, 40 Majestic, 6, 7 Rares, 125 Commons, 15 Tokens, 10 Marvels. And I believe the 10 Marvels was something that like people really early on were referencing to try to figure out reprint heroes versus new heroes, right? Because as of now, this basically, I don't know if it's like confirmed, but the take I've seen online is all of the heroes get a Marvel version other than Rhinar, because there's 6 heroes. So you figure like if 5 of them are getting Marvel's adult young, that's the 10 right there. And then Rhinar is exempt from that. That feels like a little sad. I mean, the Rhinar art is so darn cool. Like truly, I went back and updated all of like my overlay stuff for streams with the new Rhinar art. Hopefully it won't be too confusing, but like, meta breakdowns, like, top cut brackets, like on-screen graphics, like all that stuff. I went and immediately updated for the new Wisnu Tan Rhinar art. It's just so much cooler. It's so cool. The original Rhinar just kind of looks like a green dude. But then the new Rhinar art, he's like obviously a just massive hulking brute. He's got like a snarl in his face and just like, oh man, it's cool. And the backward shot, these dynamic poses on hero cards are also really, really fun. So yeah, a little sad. It almost feels like having some of the new heroes tied to the set in limited format and then increase their CC power over time to control the amount of meta shifting decks. Yeah, that's a great way that, the expansion slot over like supplemental sets will be a way LSS can always keep a finger on the pulse of like the CC metagame. I think it is interesting though how far out they have to plan some of the cards before they can like make it to print, right? Because I was watching, I think it was Nathan's set review so far, and he mentioned that the new Illusionist card, which says like everyone puts their arsenal to the bottom of their deck and then makes a ponder. I mean, that card would have been fantastic for the Lexi metagame. And even with the Lexi metagame lasting so long, it didn't make it in time. Because now we look at that card and it's like, okay, maybe it's future-proofing another Lexi situation, but it definitely didn't like make it to print to do anything relevant in the meta. As cool as that card is, it kind of missed its window. And I think we saw that as well with like some of the United We Stand, like those cards, the Unity cards, right? Like some of those came out, the heroes already LL'd. Maybe that was always intentional, it was just a story thing, but whatever. All right, new keywords. Beat chest. Beat chest is an ability keyword. I wonder if there's anything too juicy. I don't know if like reading this out entirely is that relevant. I'm gonna just skim it real quick. Okay, well here's something that is worth referencing. I'm not sure if anyone got this wrong, but you've only actually beaten chest if you've discarded 2 beat chest, not just discarded in general. That's not what beat chest is looking for. So that's a good clarity point. I think most people probably knew that. But that's cool. That's cool to like officially have in writing. Clash as an effect. Yep. All right, we knew this about KO. Oh, I guess I haven't seen anyone talk about mutated mass in reference to clashing, but that is cool. You know, the asterisk effect. You would think that also affects Diabolic Offering, right? So if you've banished a card, come into Dread Screamer, you've banished a 6 now, clash somehow on defense with a Victor, show a Diabolic, that should also be 6. There you go, Diabolic, playability increasing. Yep. No one wins the clash, correct. Oh, here we go, this is interesting. If you don't reveal a card, so like you're actually decked out, no one wins the clash. I guess that's like pretty obvious. No one wins. You win the clash. Your opponent doesn't reveal any card. You win the clash. Yeah. So this is all like interesting to know. This is all just talking about specifically if you can't reveal cards, which I wonder if that's not just like a deck out scenario, but isn't there also a card that says your opponent like can't reveal, can't fuse, like Channel Bleak Expanse? I mean, it's not actually like in the game anymore, but let me just read this real quick. Channel Bleak. I don't think this interaction like really matters at all because it would stop both of you, because it says heroes can't draw, reveal, or search decks from effects. So in theory, if there's an effect like Channel Bleak that was only affecting one person, that's kind of cool. You instant win the clash. Ooh, spicy. A new keyword. That is, wow, spicy, Josh. I'm surprised they let you do that. Here we go. Joshua Scott giving us a clue here that there's a legitimate new keyword we have not seen yet. Ooh, speculations on that. We've got beat chest, and if we're kind of looking at where the columns go, beat chest, this is the brute mechanic exclusively, you would think. Clash isn't like exclusively a mechanic for like Guardian, I guess, for Victor. But we can put that, I don't know, brute something. This is like Guardian / generic. So maybe this is like a warrior / generic keyword, and then wager rounds it out. Or maybe it's like a brute / generic keyword, because you've got like a Guardian shared one. This is also like a Guardian Warrior shared one. I mean, they don't group very well, do they? It's all kind of like, I saw people on Twitter, I think Yuha specifically was trying to figure out the groupings of, these two classes will share clash, these two will share wager. And then the reality was, no, there's no actual pattern. There's no actual pattern. Oh, Pascal thinks that this is the Battle-worn / temper that was teased by James White. I mean, I don't know if he said it was coming in heavy hitters. Did he say that specifically? But that would make sense. That would make sense. This is an ability tied to some of the equipment, because equipment is something we haven't seen. And I guess, hey, I'm very bad at keeping secrets, so I'll tell you right now, my spoiler does not have this keyword. If it did, I would have gone about this whole thing much differently. My spoiler does not have this keyword. So there we go. Universal ability. Yep, universal's ability keyword. Controller's hero. If the card is not currently controlled by a player, that card with universal will have the class of its owner's hero instead. Interesting. Of its owner's hero. So that's like if someone else can take your card. What effect actually deals with that? I mean, it's like a pretty assumed effect. That makes sense. But how would someone like play your card? Is that just like a UPF thing? Perhaps it is. Universal is the same class, not talent. And then they relisted all the classes. All right, you're gonna have to go back and update this pretty soon, there, Josh. We know the what are people waiting on? Cleric? Is that the next one? Something's coming. Necromancer. Isolate. Infiltrate. Oh, yes, infiltrate. Because you banish their card, but then you can play it. Oh, I wish that card saw more play. It's very cool. I was trying it in Contract Azuri, just because, you know, if you give a contract card go again or something, then any banish is checking the contract ability. It was not good. It was not good at all. In fact, against Levia on Talishar, it was bugged, because if you banish Blood Debt, then the Azuri like always took the Blood Debt, which was funny. Or is that even a bug, or is that just how it reads? I think it's... Hold up. Infiltrate. When this hits a hero, banish the top card of their deck. You may play it until the end of your next turn. Oh yeah, so it was bugged because it counted as your own banished. And then if it was like something that couldn't get played, like if it was a Graveling Growl or something and you just were kind of stuck, you couldn't play it out because it's conditional, then yeah, you just got super screwed. Super screwed. If an effect results in a card's universal to lose its class types, it does not lose its class. It does not lose its class? So it overrides the erase face? Is that what we're reading here? If an effect results in a card with universal to lose its class types, it in fact does not lose its class. So you get you're a dash player, you get hit with an erase face. You say, screw it, my win con is if I boost a universal attack off the top, because it stays Mechanologist. Interesting. If I'm reading that right. If I'm reading that right. That's cool. Okay. Hail Mary lines coming up. Hail Mary lines. Okay. If an effect prevents a card with universal from gaining class types, that card will not gain class of your hero. Okay. The effect in a card with universal loses its class types, preventing class types loses and can't gain. That card will not gain the class of your hero. Okay, so it has to specifically say prevent the gaining. Oh, hold up. Scribnibble, this is a good point. Dash herself loses her class. So then, can Universal, we only have that one card so far, I forget the name of it. Can it still see that you are Mechanologist if you're not Mechanologist at all? I would think that's like what's being overruled here. Is like exactly this bullet point is basically saying you do still get its class. The rest of the bullet points stipulate if you can't gain, then you're actually prevented. So I think you do still get Mechanologist type, I would think. Okay, wager. When the attack's chain link resolves at the attack hit, you create the token, otherwise they create the token. Okay, I don't think anything new is there. In the resolution step, okay. If that wagered hit, you've won the wager. If it did not hit the opposing hero in the wager, yep, okay, it's all clear. If an attack is wagered, but it's no longer on the combat chain, last known information about the attack is used to determine if the resolving wager triggers. When an attack has wagered, but it is no longer in the combat chain, last known information about the attack is used to determine if hit when resolving wager triggers. What is that actually? So that would be if there's like a wager. There's a realistic use case of this, but that would be like if there was a wagered contract card, and then you wagered on that attack, and you and your opponent, you set the deal, but then you swap out the attack. There's like a real way that works. It's not as simple as pretending Azuri could do this, but that's good to know. Effects that prevent. So like once you've wagered, there's no going back, even if that attack fizzles. The wager has been set. You and your opponent shook on it. Effects that prevent hit effects from triggering or prevent the effects of attacks from triggering when they hit do not prevent wager from triggering and resolving. Okay, so wager is just not a hit effect at all. I mean, that makes sense. It's not part of the... yeah, just nothing to do with that. Cool. No way to get around wager, really. If tokens you lose and can't gain names, tokens would still be created from resolving the wager effect. After they are created, those tokens would lose and can't gain names. Alright, another use case where amnesia doesn't do anything. No, just kidding. You get hit by amnesia. Well, I'd like to wager gold, but I don't really know what a gold is anymore. I guess it's just not how it works. Amnesia getting power corrupt. If you wager a universal attack with Mechanologist and then some effect makes your attack go to the bottom of the deck. Oh, that's a great point. You can add that with, oh, well, I guess it wouldn't have to be like Mechanologist specifically, but there's like the Warmongers. Like this one, right? If it hits, put it on the bottom of your deck. So that's what it's doing. Cool. Heavy hitters, card notes, brute cards. Alright. I wish I could just like control F the juice. But that's just not how it works. The juice does not come up as a keyword. So we'll just keep reviewing this and keep hanging out. KO armed and dangerous. Yes. Alright, you gotta have a way to embed the actual symbols as like emojis or something. Or maybe typing it out is relevant for, I don't know, some like database thing, right? Like there's a Tyler Luce or something might like need to copy and paste this, and so these are relevant, but there's gotta be a way to just enter the symbols as emojis or something. You have one weapon zone. Yes. Alright, so really the juice part is we're gonna look and scan if anything spicy is in these. While KO is your hero, the number of weapon zones you own is set to exactly 1. This starts from the moment KO is revealed during the start of game procedure. Okay. You only have 1 weapon zone to equip either one hand. Yep, we knew this. You cannot equip 2 hand or 2 one hand. Yep. The attack action cards you own don't get +1 if they're on the combat chain. Oh, this is... Okay, we swapped what we're talking about here. This is talking about the weapon. Now we're talking about his other effect. I mean, we all knew that. That made sense. Effects that specify the base power of a card do not consider the +1. Yep, that makes sense. It's not base. A KO's effect triggers once per each of your action phases. If you discard a card with 6 or more during another player's turn or during start or end phase of your turn, it does not trigger. Yeah, that was something I was wondering about when reading the hero. It specifies each of your action phases. So this may be like a bit of future proofing for maybe how PvE works, because like even in UPF, you just have your action phase. So that's probably like some future proofing wording, which is cool. I don't think there's any real use case for that in the game right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me. Oh, check this out. Oh, good eye, chat. Good eye. Look at that. Josh, the chat's doing your job for you. Fix that typo, brother. 36, that's not even based on the original KO. The original KO would have been 38, because he's 19. He starts at 19. So that's what are you copy pasting? What are you copy pasting there? Josh, come on. It's okay. Josh is on the clock right now. It's the middle of the workday. He can fix it for us. Was there another bullet? Effects that cause a player's cards and tokens to lose and can't gain names. Oh, more amnesia. Do not prevent the might token from being created when resolving KO's triggered effect. Man, amnesia nerfs just keep on coming. No one can forget tokens. What's even the point of amnesia? They should have renamed that one. It should have been like mild headache. That's not true amnesia. It is a mild headache sometimes in very niche cases, but it ain't no amnesia. When the token is created, yep. Fixed. Should be done when the cache resets. All right, let's check right now. Oh, look at that. Live on stream. Getting the edits in. Getting the edits. Well done. Well done. All right, Ball Breaker. Everyone's been commenting on the name, so I'll say it too. Nice. Once per turn action. Also, here's confirmation. I don't know why. I'm not even that young anymore, and I could tell that all those cards were one-handed. Just saying. Everyone else was like, are those one or two-handed? I can't tell. It's so blurry. I don't think it was that hard. And James White actually came out and said on Twitter, just straight up, he was like, they're all one-handed. I don't know why he had to go out of his way to say it. They could have just attached a better image. That's a fair criticism. But now we've got Josh telling us straight up, all of them are one-handed. Humble is a card that ruins KO but gives him a second weapon slot. Yep, I'm actually surprised there isn't something... I guess you wouldn't really put it in release notes because... Well, no, you would put it in release notes because they're referencing Amnesia, and Amnesia, as far as we know, is like not in the set, right? Maybe it got reprinted. That's why they're referencing it specifically. But like you'd think Humble, they'd reference as well that you do in fact gain a second arm slot. Maybe that's just so irrelevant it doesn't matter, but we're talking about future proofing, right? Eventually there could be a way to equip weapons in Brute. It's probably not coming this set. Right now that is still locked to well, like Assassin mostly, right? Ball Breaker. What do we need to know about this? If you discard that gets +1. Doesn't get any more than +1. Yep. That makes sense. Mini Meat Axe. I love this one. I do wish the art on Mini Meat Axe was a little better. This is like my one art miss so far. Was I don't think the Mini Meat Axe looks that cool. Especially for something being called Mini Meat Axe. I wonder if we have them up on February yet. We do not have them up on February yet. But trust me, people. For as cool as Ravenous Meat Axe is, I mean, Ravenous Meat Axe is like the headpiece of, I don't know, some like crab creature or who knows what it is. It's like this carapace that's been attached to an axe and is just like a Ravenous Meat Axe, I guess. The thing is damn cool. And then the Mini Meat Axe is like just a normal axe that it's like almost a butcher's blade, like just something that cuts meat. Nothing to do with the original Ravenous Meat Axe. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. It doesn't look like a very brute weapon. That's all I'm going to say. When this attacks, draw and then discard a random card. If you cannot draw or discard cards, you can still attack with Mini Meat Axe. Yep. If you cannot draw a card, you must still discard a random card if possible. Love it. There's no priority between drawing a card and discarding a card. Yep. Okay. Same. All right. The cool thing about this card is, in terms of like applications in the now, this is actually pretty good, I think, into Wizard, because legitimately into Kano, depending on how stuck a Leviathan deck was in terms of like proactively filling graveyard, some people claimed you had to run Meat Axe just to get anything rolling. I would never run Meat Axe, honestly. That just means the moment you see Blood Rush, you don't actually threaten damage, so I never thought it was good. But this little sucker, if you really care about Kano, you can now just like become, hey, I mean, I'm just going to roll scabs every turn anyway, because the only time I care about what Kano's doing is like on the kill turn, right? You take your like AB, you take your Spell Void, and then just like keep hitting scabs like every turn. Because now Mini Meat Axe, every time you hit, is letting you fill the graveyard, turning on your other Mandible Claw, and then of course you're still throwing an attack at the end. So like this, the card functionally is really cool. It's good. I think it's good. I just wish it looked cooler. Show No Mercy. All right, we're getting all mixed up. They didn't have it sorted like... Oh, it is sorted. Brute cards. It is sorted. My bad. My bad. I thought we were looking for like heroes, equipment, whatever. This is all the brute stuff. Run our spec. Does not trigger if you attack anything other than a hero. Okay. Unlike other intimidates, you must intimidate the hero being attacked. You cannot choose to intimidate any other hero. Yeah, I mean, that's just a linguistic update in all of this set, I think. Everything we've seen so far is like new. It's not just intimidate, it is intimidate them. I'm pretty sure across everything we've seen. So that's just reiterating that point. If the player still has cards in their hand when this attacks them and they have no cards in their hand, yep, this will still give them +3. If that player has no cards in their hand, then they draw or otherwise get a card in their hand, this will lose the +3. Yep, it's all still during the same step. Makes sense. These abilities are not functional when the card is not attacking in the combat chain. What do you mean? No, that's fine. I never assume that stuff is, unless it's like the asterisk or worded very specifically. It's always funny because like some people really do assume that some of like what the attack actions say are just always in effect. I've seen people talking about like I think it came up talking with George, a Levia player, where he thought that Battlefield Breaker was a 6 power, like in your graveyard if you've already banished a 6, because it said if you've banished 6, gain +1. So even though it was a base 5, because you banished a 6, oh sweet, it's like a 6 all the time now. And I'm sure you can like point specifically to a point in the rules where it's like that's just not how it works, but I just assume it never works like that unless it very specifically says otherwise or has an asterisk. But there you go. There we go. This is confirmation. No fear. No fear. I really hope this card is playable. It's so interesting. But if it's not playable and just kind of like a meme, then there goes a Majestic slot kind of down the toilet, doesn't it? All right, let's catch up on chat real quick, though. To start with the main example, dash and blood sometimes. Oh, that's rough. Well, hey, just fatigue him out. If you want a buy, fatiguing out a dash works like a charm. It's pretty boring, but you know what? It's also boring for them, and then they switch off dash. Especially if it's like an armory level. Just, you know, make them play something fun. If all it is dash, not saying dash isn't fun, but if that's all it is, I understand if that's unfun. The new cards really compensate you for rolling scabs. I think scabs is getting the reprint as far as like they've been doing like a legendary reprint, right? And I feel it's scab skins. Like, come on. James White has said time and time again, even when asked like one-on-one with some pretty angsty brute players who hate scab skins, the dude is stalwart in defending scabs. Is just like, that's part of the brute identity. And I embrace it. I love scab skins now. I've tried so much to like wean myself off of needing scabs to win. And I really think that's just like those instances of like really being a scabskins deck are almost never true if you just do the deck building right and play well. It's like a misconception that even like very high rolly brute decks are just scabskins decks. You're probably like winning the game anyway, just on how you've planned your matchups, how your deck is constructed. And then scabskins as kind of an expectation of the 4 times you roll it, 2 times doing kind of that busted turn cycle that guarantees you land like true damage over a normal block 12 cycle or something. That's something you can actually like plan for, you know, and your opponent can plan for that happening too. What they can't plan for is if you're rolling scabs, and even if you're only expecting like half the time to hit, because it's part of your overall game plan. If you hit every time, okay, yes, those games are probably going to feel awful for your opponent. But just, it is what it is. You gotta have the, you know, those moments like Michael Hamilton rolling my dice for me at the Realm and like legitimately rolling, I think it was like 5 6s. Those are some pretty unique moments. I do enjoy that they're in the game. But it took me a while to get to that. Honestly, I was a scabs hater for a long time. 1.7.5 for reference on the rule, by the way. Perfect, thank you. I've never looked at the rules. I don't even know what those numbers mean. 2 times is easy fix. Just have Michael Hamilton roll your dice. This is what I'm saying. I just need to... All right, Michael Hamilton already is like a full-time fat player, right? Living off that world's money. You know, putting out M&R content again. Doing a great job. I need to just... maybe I can like unlock a new Patreon tier where he just follows me around to every event and rolls my dice for me. I'd become a patron if if that was a tier. Name your price, Michael. I'm ready. I'm ready. All right. We didn't even look at the text here, and I'm sure it's spicy. You cannot banish a card to play No Fear if the card doesn't have 6 or more power before it's banished. If you have not already banished a 6 or more power card this turn, you cannot banish Diabolic. Oh, here we go. Diabolic getting referenced right off the bat as part of playing No Fear because it has 0 power when you're selecting cards to banish. When you're selecting cards to banish. Okay, see, this is slightly different. Not even something I thought about. But when you banish with, like, Blood Dripping Frenzy, for example, it is considered simultaneous. But for whatever micro step that you're allowed to say, I guess, like, check what is banished, the Diabolic does count as a 6. As long as another 6 was banished, obviously. It's all checking, like, at the same time. But because No Fear is choosing the banished targets first, before banish has happened, this makes total sense. I don't even think I assumed it worked that way, but now here we go. It's in writing. If a card banished this way is turned face down, it is not returned to your hand during the end phase. Dang it, Josh. Change that right now. You better tell me that's a typo. Why you gotta nerf my consumed like that? I mean, obviously we knew this is how it worked, but I was holding out hope. Holding out hope that when you flip consumed, this card doesn't just kill you. Oh, come on. You reference Levia, and then you tear her apart. Oh my gosh, you guys at LSS. If you don't banish any... Wait, is this part relevant? Any other remaining face-up cards in the banish zone that were banished this way will... Yeah, okay. If you don't banish any cards that play this, X equals 2, and this will prevent 2 the damage you'd be dealt. Yep. This prevents damage from a single event of damage. Single event. Have we heard them reference these situations as events or instances? Maybe that's maybe they're moving away from calling things instances because instants are a card type. But I swear I've seen this kind of language as instance before. All right, but there we go. A single event of damage. Any leftover prevention amount does not carry over to another event of damage. Here we are again. Here we are again. Am I crazy? I feel like instance has been said before. I think I'm wrong though, because look at that, it doesn't pull up. It doesn't pull up. Alright, so the first time event itself is truly referenced is actually in No Fear. So I'm not crazy. It's not that I've been like missing reading event. It's just they never said event or instance. Wow. Interesting. Not actually interesting, but there you go. Someone had to figure that out, by God. Rawhide Rumble. When this attacks a hero, if you've beaten chest this turn, intimidate them. Yep. This does not trigger if you attack anything other hero. Yep. To intimidate the hero being attacked, you may have beaten chest on any... Yep. Unlike some other intimidate effects... Okay, yep. Everything we learned from reading the previous stuff. Bonebreaker Yellow. Oh, Bonebreaker Bellow. And here we go. Confirmation that it's in red, yellow, blue. I think we knew this already, but we hadn't seen the card images for some of these, right? Alright, your brute attack gets... Yep. This applies to any brute attack, brute weapon. That has been some of the spicy bits. Honestly, the fact that this like affects Romping Club, beautiful. To get the additional plus power, you may be in chest. Yep. Smashback, Ailhorn, create an agility and a mic, go again. Where's the amnesia text, huh, Josh? Where's the consistency, Josh? Every other thing that talks about tokens, you got the amnesia line in there. But what if I get hit by amnesia and then play Smashback Ailhorn? What happens? I don't know. Now I've really been hit with amnesia. I can't remember the last like 5 times it was referenced. Oh, God. Oh, God. That's funny. Probably not, but I think it's funny. All right, we're on to Guardian cards. Let's check up the chat real quick. It is a synonym. We use event in the CR more often. Okay, so you do say event and instance. I'm not totally crazy. Not totally crazy. Guardian cards. Betsy skin in the game. If an attack wagers 2 or more times, Betsy's effect will trigger for each wager made. Wait, is that big news? Because her specialization says you wager like 3 things, but I'm pretty sure that's all simultaneous? Or is this big? You tell me in chat. Hold up. If an attack wagers 2 or more times, Betsy's effect will trigger for each wager made. The attack gets +1 overpower for each time you trigger and choose to pay. Hold up, so her specialization, though, I'm pretty sure is simultaneous. Because I haven't seen people like freaking out about multiple wagers, so this might be an interaction that's coming up. When this attacks here, you may wager a gold, might, and vigor with them. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's just like one. You just say you're wagering once. Or is it all different? I mean, yeah, you have to pay 3 times, for sure. Check the big bet release notes. Oh, sure. Let's just get straight to that. This does not trigger if you attack with anything other than a hero, okay? Wagering is optional. If you decide to wager, the winner of wager will create all 3 tokens. All 3 tokens. Okay, so there we go. That's the answer. The wager is once, and it is for all 3. All right. But if you stack them in other means, that is pretty cool. I don't know if people like assumed that worked or didn't, because it doesn't say like once per turn, right? But maybe there was an assumption that if multiple wagers stack on the same attack, they all kind of share the trigger or something. I don't know. I don't know what the Betsy Brewers were up to, but that's new to me. I like it. If the attack is already defended by 2 or more action cards, then it gains overpower. The defending cards are not retroactively moved. Oh my god. I luckily have been spared the headache that is the new rulings around you actually like can defend twice on dominate, but a card would get destroyed or whatever the hell's going on with that. I forget when those release notes came out, but I definitely ignored them. So I'm going to paraphrase, but I hope I never get involved in interactions like that. All right. You control, and if this is Victor High and Mighty. Oh, you guys want a teaser real quick of some of the really cool stuff I've been doing for the Celebrational? Check this out. So as part of prepping, the soundboard and all that, I have new sound files for all of the heroes. I've ditched the idea of using an announcer. The whole announcer style, kind of like from Halo 3 or something, like dominate, was a little bit conflicting with some of like, the casters talking and stuff like that. So what I went for instead was more of like ambient sounds for whenever heroes do their cool thing and completely cut like the announcer voice. Listen to Victor's. I hope this plays over OBS. I love this one.
Oh, yeah.
All right, that was way too loud.
Oh, yeah.
I love it, though. It's so douchey. You want to punch that guy. You absolutely want to punch that guy. He's pouring out daddy's money. Oh, yeah. That was way too loud, though. I apologize. Didn't know. All right, if you control an effect, if you control the source that generated the effect... that's just not registering any meaning in my brain. We'll move on. If an opponent wagers or clashes with you and you create a gold token from that effect, Victor does not trigger because you don't control the effect. Is this new, actually? Oh, no. I guess this isn't a new understanding because it does say in the hero text itself, from an effect you control. So this is just further reiterating you must control the effect. All right, so we knew that. Victor mirrors, man. They lost the high roll potential. You would fail to win a clash if you are one of the clashing heroes and don't reveal the card of the greatest. This includes ties. Yep. We knew that. If you choose to destroy a gold, the result of the old clash is replaced by the new clash after one of the revealed cards. It's like playing war. Oh, it's so... Okay, it says only the first time. But imagine you rack up just mountains of gold and then you're basically playing war. Just... All right, what you got? Oh, we tied? All right, again. Oh, we tied? All right, again. We tied again. Only the first time. But that is fun. I'm a fan of... I think Clash will feel fun on the table. Milling away the card that you reveal at the top, maybe won't feel so fun. I know every time it's going to be a Blood Rush Bellow. Like, it's just an assumed part of the game, especially when you play against like Azuri and let a singleton leave no witnesses hit. It's always the Blood Rush gun. It is what it is. If you choose to destroy, that's the one we read. If you were to create a gold token during the start of game, procedure as victor. You would not draw a card. We knew that. I think that was answered on Twitter or something, but effects that cause a player's cards and token to lose and can't. Oh, here's the amnesia line. Here's the amnesia line. But where is it? Where is it? For Smashback Ailhorn. Good God. What if I refresh? Has it been copy pasted? Nope. Nope. I'm just getting straight ignored on this one. Josh doesn't like my suggestion. Alright, it's the amnesia line. This is like a tiny bit different. Victor's first ability will still trigger and resolve, resulting in Victor drawing a card. Victor's first ability. The first time you create a gold. Wow. Wait, isn't that like kind of backwards? I would feel like this is a use case where amnesia actually does something. You create the gold because, like, you know, it says as much on the card effect, whatever, but Victor still, like, can tell it's a gold. Interesting. Maybe I'm not grasping conceptually why that works, but I feel like it shouldn't. That would be like an actual thing for amnesia to register with, right? I guess if they always count as tokens, if you create the gold token because the card itself, like, can't lose the reference of the gold token, maybe it always makes sense that Victor sees it. Well, I don't know. Who's playing amnesia anyway? If cards and tokens you own... Oh, here's another amnesia line. Can't gain names. Effects that use names will fail to find identify objects with any specified names. Victor will be unable to destroy any objects with the name gold. Okay, so he knows that they're gold, but then he, like, loses his wallet and can't actually spend them. All right. You know what? It's selective amnesia. Selective amnesia. I mean, that's the actual real condition itself, isn't it? You don't forget everything. You forget some pieces. I'm with it. I'm with it. High riser. Not high roller. Totally thought we were jumping into a brute card here. High riser. This is the weapon. If you draw a card, this gets +1. It still only gets +1. If you haven't drawn a card when you attack in this, and then you draw, yep, all makes sense. Miller's Grindstone. When this hits a hero, clash, yes. When a card is destroyed, it's put in the graveyard, yes. If the destroyed card is the triggered ability when this is destroyed, it will not trigger because the triggered ability is not functional when the card is on top of deck. Okay, in my head I'm thinking about Beast Within, but Beast Within doesn't care about when it was destroyed, to be fair. Beast Within says whenever it was put in the graveyard. So Beast Within would still do its thing, I would think, but a destroyed trigger specifically would not. That makes sense. You can still attack with millers even if it has 0. Oh yeah, baby. We love the mill. If it has 5 or more -1, its power is still 0. Its power is never negative. That'd be a funny interaction if so. Its power is still 0. But what if you get hit by this round's on me? Are you then -1? It can't never be negative. What? But -1. How do you... Miller's Grindstone only hits when it deals damage during the damage step of combat. If it attacks for 0 and there are no defending cards or prevention effects, it will not deal any damage, and thus it will not hit. Only hits when it deals damage. Wait, what? Does this care about hits? Oh my god, wait, I like totally missed that you have to actually hit with the hammer. Oh, this weapon's not as good as I thought. I mean, it's still a good weapon, but it has to actually hit. If you hit, that's when the clash happens. Oh, shoot. I thought you just, like, clash when you attack. That'd probably be busted. Alright, card's worse than I thought. I'm sure it's still fine. I'm sure it's still fine. Dang, that is so unfortunate, though. My dream of dual-wielding a Miller Guardian will only work potentially 8 times. That's still a lot. That's actually still quite a bit. I won't complain. That'd be broken if it worked the other way. I'll admit. Embermaw Centipede, Dunebreaker Centipede. You're saying those do work or do not? Let's check. Dunebreaker. Does it say destroyed? Yeah, so this is the kind of destroyed trigger. Okay, cool. Good to know. Good. Thank you for the reference. Bet Big. This is what we referenced before in regards to the Betsy triple trigger. Sag. The Golden Sun. The key artwork that was shown around a bit early for the set actually is a card. I will say it looks so less exciting with the Guardian border. Like, I hope there's an extended art. Oh no, I guess... No, extended art wouldn't really do anything. It'd have to be like a Marvel to make this card look good. But this art, something's just off with the Guardian frame. I don't dig it. You just kind of like... The yellow starts to look bad next to the Guardian frame. I don't know what it is. Something with color science. I'm sure I'm not crazy. But I don't love what it looks like on the card. But the art itself is very, very good. Whatever. Everyone's got complaints. I'm a brute player. Leave me to my complaints. Victor spec, yes. The Golden Sun triggers only when you win a clash, where this is the card that you reveal for that clash. Yep. Golden Sun's triggered effect to create a gold token will be added to the stack to resolve after the current clash completely resolves. So that matters for Victor in terms of being able to use the gold token immediately, right? I guess you wouldn't want to use the gold token immediately, because you have to win the clash anyway. So it's not just like when it is revealed, create the gold. That's when you would like maybe care about how it functions. But that's not how it works anyway. You have to win the clash. Okay. If you fail to win the clash when revealing Golden Sun, then you can clash again with Victor's effect, revealing another card and winning. The Golden Sun doesn't trigger. Okay, that's new info, I guess. It should obviously be pretty assumed, I think, because the text itself says when you win a clash revealing this, and if it's not revealing this, makes sense. But in terms of like how sticky kind of these check states are for effects, there we go. That's our answer. If you fail to win a clash revealing another card, then you clash again with Victor's effect, revealing Golden Sun and winning. Golden Sun, yep, makes total sense. The Golden Sun would be better with a white border. I think, okay, so hear me out. I think the real fix on this, why not just give it the Solana border, right? It's a specialization. If we go back to how like the initial specialization cards worked, right? Like the initial specializations have the border of the region. And I really liked that touch. I thought that touch was so cool, and they abandoned it. And I don't know if we actually have a reason stated yet as to why it was abandoned. Unfortunate. But imagine the like Solania border. Or this isn't the Solania border, because that's the shapeshifter one. Like imagine this border on the Golden Sun. Oh, that'd be fantastic. That'd be much nicer. It don't fit with the Guardian border. Just doesn't. Boast. I haven't seen like anyone hype up this card. I don't even remember when it was revealed, but it is a majestic, so that's cool. If you defend with this card, if you defend with this first, then win a clash, the value of X will increase by 2. Yep, I think that was always assumed. Stacked in your favor. Oh, I really hope these auras become a way to play Guardian. It's such an interesting way to play the turn cycle game of Flesh and Blood, where it's like delayed value, but it's not just about numbers. It's also compounded with like the fact that dominate and overpowers on hit effects, on like how Guardian's trying to push through damage. When you stack it with auras like this, it's almost like you get to shrug off decks that have good armor that would just laugh at like a crippling crush. I hope this playstyle like makes sense somewhere. Maybe just a sideboard plan, but taking an off turn to play an aura, because it gets around how easily your opponent could have dealt with dominated hit effects, whatever, on the next turn. Beautiful. Beautiful. There is no priority between drawing a card and putting a card on top of your deck. You cannot play cards or activate abilities if you don't have priority. Okay, yep, that makes sense. You can't draw a card and then play something. That's all it's saying. If you're unable to draw a card, you would still put a card from your hand on top of your deck. Let's go! Fatigued state. Oh, nerfing the fatigue state. That's okay. Bigger than big. The effect... Okay, so here's one of the ways that you can stack wagers, multiple wagers in theory, on an attack. Granted, this aura doesn't have go again, so it would be tough for you to play multiple of these, but it could be this plus Betsy, or rather plus an attack that already had wager with Betsy, that is double triggering at least on a singular attack. So that's a way to use the Betsy thing. Yes, yes, yes. I love that Guardian weapon is referenced so much. Guardians love their weapons, and they will not give them up. Here we go. Once again, amnesia. You know what beats amnesia? Alcohol. Apparently. Apparently, if you want to fight off amnesia, just grab a pint of strong and stout or a, what was the last one? Smashback Alehorn. Immune to the amnesia text. Warrior cards. Is this even a good use of time? I feel like we've learned like some interesting nuggets. I'm sure there's one standout piece. But hey, might as well. We got another hour until Will streams and I go eat dinner and then go to bed for my flight to New Zealand tomorrow. So, we'll just keep going. Unless we want to do something else, you let me know in chat. Once per turn action, banish... Oh yes, this is not a new line. If you attack with a sword, then you draw a card. You are not retroactively refunded the resources to activate the previous sword attack. I don't think anyone thought that was the case, but holy moly, imagine if it said you were. Crazy. New Jersey, how long was your flight delayed? So, unfortunately, I had already kind of like a tricky layover situation, right? I live in a town with no airport, so I had to fly from Rochester to Charlotte to LAX to Auckland was the flight path. And that already, incurs a lot of layovers to begin with, right? 2 significant layovers, one in Charlotte, one in LAX. That, especially with like the winter weather, things could go wrong. I thought I was pretty safe because that's kind of like a southern path. We wouldn't be going through like the snowstorm in Chicago or whatever. But even so, the Charlotte flight got mega delayed to the point where I was automatically rebooked because I would have missed the connection. So the rebooking put me on a morning flight tomorrow. So unfortunately, my initial flight time would have been 23 hours of travel to make it to New Zealand Sunday morning. Fantastic. Would have made it to Auckland, had an entire free day because the schedule doesn't really kick off till Monday. So Sandra and I would have been able to explore Auckland. She's always wanted to go to New Zealand. We were hyped. But now the new flight means we're getting there Monday morning, like literally right before the studio tour. So no free time. And then the other bad part, unfortunately, is the flight, the travel time in total went up from 23 hours to 28 hours. So the new flight path is Rochester to Washington to Dallas to Auckland. And the flights are a little bit longer and the layovers are definitely longer. So we'll still get there 24 hours later, but with 5 hours longer travel time. So not great, but like at least I make it. If I get delayed again, holy crap, the celebration falls apart. If I lose my bags, I no longer have a buffer day. Because that's what, for me, was like really stressing me out, was making it on Sunday means at least there's another like afternoon flight, there's another morning flight, there's another afternoon flight, all happening before the flight to Queenstown in New Zealand. So there'd be like 4 other opportunities for the bags to make it on the next flight. Because like I'm bringing all the gear. Like LSS is not providing the stream gear, right? It's all the Savage Feats set up. So if the bags don't make it, like I've got trackers in the bags. It's not like they'll get lost, but if they just don't make it and then just get stuck because, airline infrastructure, like who knows, they just sit somewhere for a while. Now there's only 2 more windows for the bags to make it. It's either like the afternoon flight on Monday or the morning flight on Tuesday, right before the Queenstown flight. So knock on wood or something, but like, my issues with airlines. I am always paranoid about the bags disappearing. So who knows? We're losing our safety nets, people. We are. And the other unfortunate part was I've been working with LSS to try to get some of their gear up to snuff as well. But, they live in New Zealand. LSS is in New Zealand. So they just like straight up can't get some of the things I recommended. They just can't. They don't exist on the island. Like in the US, we take it for granted, right? Like I can just order off Amazon, like pretty much anything I want. New Zealand doesn't have Amazon. And on top of that, if something's just like not in the country, if they don't have like a very specific, tech piece in the country, then like importing it is a nightmare. So yeah, LSS does not really have a backup setup for me to use. They specifically like needed me to bring everything. So what can we do? What can we do? Fingers crossed, right? Fingers crossed. Oh, yeah. Sounds like me and your trips from Melbourne to New York. Sympathies. Oh, yeah, that's probably further, right? Because you have to do like an extra 5 hours from like the travel time from like Melbourne to New Zealand is like still pretty significant, right? And you wouldn't, not like you'd like have a layover in New Zealand, but just overall, that is further away. Would be faster using the bus. Sandra recommended that we just get a helicopter Uber. She was joking, but it is funny. In New York, you can actually get those now, helicopter Ubers. Not where we live in New York, but in New York City, you can get helicopter Ubers. So, yes. What's up, Nathan? We're trying to wrap this up before your boy Will starts streaming. So we're like halfway done with the release notes. Just hanging out and talking. Oh, all right. I really wish it was like easier to skim, but actually, you know what? I think I have a plugin that can make this easier to skim. Bionic reading, baby. Oh, yes. Bionic reading. Will it work? Well, it totally messed up the layout of the site. All right, this is much worse to look at for probably everyone else but me. So we'll take it off. Oh well. Bionic reading was something I used in my UX jobs. Okay. If you activate a sword attack and then you draw a card, you are not retroactively... Yep, we already read that. The cost to activate Kasai is banishing a total of 4 cards from your graveyard. 2 red, 2 yellow. You cannot activate Kasai if you can't pay the cost. Yep. And that's nice to know where like you try to activate Kasai and you're like, oh shoot, I don't have a second yellow card. Oh well, and you banish the other ones and just like fail. Nope, doesn't work. You just can't activate. It's good to know. You choose the cards to banish from your graveyard. Actually, you know what? This is similar to like when I would play Starvo. You can trigger Starvo without actually revealing. So every round I would push up Starvo to the combat chain, look my opponent in the eye and be like, Starvo trigger, and just watch the soul like quickly, just sink to the bottom of their toes. Like they were always so terrified that I actually had it. It was like the best part about playing Starvo, honestly, was just that. It's not even like a real mind game because you don't have it, but just messing with your opponent, was so fun. And now in theory, you can do that with Kasai. If you know you can't actually pay the cost, every turn you can just say, trigger Kasai. Like, never mind, can't pay. Trigger Kasai, oh, never mind, can't pay. I don't know if your opponent like really will get scared about it the same way, but it's nice to know that like within the rules, you're not, it's not like you get punished for doing that. You choose the cards to banish from your graveyard at the time you activate the ability. There's no priority between choosing. Yep. The effect does not trigger if you hit anything other than a hero. If you hit anything other than a hero, then you hit a second hero, it will trigger. The next time a weapon you control hits a hero this turn. Okay, yeah, that all makes sense just as you read it, I think. On the topic of streaming, you want to stream Dutch Fab events. Oh, heck yeah. The mother country. Plus nearby events. Do you have any tips? You got a real basic setup. Tips? I forget when I posted it on Twitter. But I think the first thing you should do in terms of like a basic setup, the first thing you should do over like a clamp on the table or anything is get a C-stand. A C-stand's like more heavy duty, it's not as portable, but a mic stand, right? This is just like a boom mic arm, right? But it folds up really easy, just like a tripod, because they're made to be mobile. And then you just, put your phone or camera, whatever you're doing, on the end here. And if that's like all you have overhead, you can't attach like a lighting cushion or anything, because it can't hold enough weight. But you can normally get these for super cheap. Like, I think this was like, I don't know, Amazon Basics, like $20. And that immediately improves your camera angles like pretty significantly from just like the kind of, you know, table arm side view clamp that normally gets like a bunch of glare. If you just do the mic arm overhead, that's, I mean, huge upgrade. That's like a pretty simple one, pretty cheap one. Other than that, just, you know, spend as much time as you can making sure the graphic elements, you know, accentuate the stream rather than detract. And you definitely don't want them to like be low res and, you know, have stretched out graphics. Like, that's a big no-no. So, you know, those two things, right, can even take like a phone stream to something like pretty darn good. Those are my tips. Quick tips. It's like with Rhinar, when you have a 5-card hand and don't block any of their turn, they start freaking out about Blood Rush. That's true too. That one's great. Because like the Rhinar player doesn't even have to do anything. They might have said no blocks because their hand was like all non-blocks. It could be all reds. It could be like the double pulping, double wild ride dream. Not a dream. And your opponent is still terrified because they think you have Blood Rush. And meanwhile, you pitch 2 reds to play a red. God. Oh, I hate those cards. All right, Olympia, my favorite hero. If an attack is wagered 2 or more times, this triggers only once per attack for the first wager trigger that resolves, assuming you've hit. What does this mean? If you've wagered 2 more times, this triggers only once per attack. The first time you attack wins a wager. First time each of your attacks wins a wager, create a gold token. Okay. So this is saying if that attack has multiple wagers, that singular attack is already going to check the first time you win. That makes sense. Took me a second. If you attack 2 or more times and each of those attacks wins a wager, you trigger and each of those wins. Also makes sense. I love it. Olympia is about to be my main. Or actually, hold up. Y'all want another? All right. All the people sticking around. Let me give you a teaser shot of my spoiler video real quick. That does in fact feature Olympia. This is what you get for sticking around. Which, by the way, this spoiler video that I made, oh my god. It's like, I look back on it, and it's like hard to believe I made that. Like, if 10-year-old me saw this video on YouTube, I would just, like, it would be a dream. Like, I would think, holy crap, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And like, I actually made it. So I'm pretty stoked. Here we go. I'll show off this one screenshot. Ready? Look at that. Olympia, he's in the video. Olympia is in the video. So you better tune in. You better tune in on Monday. It is so freaking good. The card is probably even better than the video. The card is really good. Like, I'm not trolling. But the video, oh my god, I just love it so much. I cannot wait for everyone to see the trailer I made. Oh my god. Like, competition aside, because you know it actually is a competition. The top 3 like best spoiler videos get some kind of reward. So I went all out. If I can't compete in like the next couple, you know, callings or whatever, because I'm streaming, I might as well compete where I can. And that's the content creation world, believe it or not. All right. How long did it take you to do stop motion? If you like average it out, it was every second took almost an hour. And I had a tech catastrophe on the second day that reset so much work. So if you math it out, it was probably like a 45-hour project. It was my entire weekend and then 3 of my afternoons this week. Like, legitimately my entire weekend. Granted, one of those days was completely lost because of a tech failure. And then like 3 of my afternoons. And then last night I stayed up till like 3 a.m. because I thought I was leaving. I thought I was like flying all day today, right? So I stayed up last night till like 3 a.m. just making sure it was 1000% done because I, you know, wanted to hit upload and go and then not worry about it. But turns out I could have spent another day on it, which honestly hurts a little because I would have loved one more day. Not like I rushed it, but there's always more you can do to stop motion, right? Like there's always a couple more pictures you could have taken. There's always like maybe that one extra scene I could have added, a little bit of more like sound design or something. Oh my God, but I love it. Like I've never been so happy with a created product. And that even counts like, the calling streams I've pulled off and stuff. Like, oh my God, I cannot wait till Monday. I cannot wait till Monday. Okay, Jeremy says, speaking of when LSS stopped printing region borders on specs, it looks like because it coincided with the introduction of talents, and then talents assumed the region border. That would make sense. Right. Introduction of talents? No, I feel like they stopped after that, because the introduction of talents would have been Monarch. Introduction of talents would have been Monarch. The next set, Aria, already kind of like messed it up, I guess, because at that point... Wait, no, hold up. We can disprove that already, because if you look at like Soul Harvest... Wait, is this disproving or is this proving the point? Hold up. Soul Harvest and Doomsday, they're just Shadow anyway, so it's not like the border is different. All right, hold up. I can't disprove the point with what you just said. What was the next one? What was the next? Aria? So you got like... Were there specializations in Aria? Am I stupid? Yeah, there was like the Lexi one, right? But the borders wouldn't have mattered here because all the cards were like already talented appropriately. What is this one? Light it up. Yeah, I mean, like that is just Elemental Ranger anyway. Hold up. Aria, it's different. In theory, because you can't really quite tell if it changed in Monarch because those cards were like just Shadow, right? And like Levia's border is Shadow, so they match. But Light It Up, for example, is Elemental Ranger, and it has the Elemental Ranger border versus the Aria border. So I guess you can like prove it started in Aria, but it could have in theory started in Monarch because it follows the same rules. I think that makes sense. Or no, hold up. Levia's just a bad example because I think you're right. It did start in Monarch. Yeah, okay. It legit started in Monarch because here we go. Like Lumina Ascension, for example, should have the Solania border if this was gonna, hold the old ways accountable. All right, you're right. Damn, Monarch really ruined us, didn't it? Damn. Bolton specs. Okay, cool. Yeah. We brought that back. When this is defended by one or more attack action cards, Hot Streak's attacks go again this turn. Oh, Hot Streak's the weapon. I don't even know if I've read this one before. It's 2 resources. Attack. This is just its effect. When this is defended by one or more attack action cards, Hot Streak's attacks go again this turn. Specifies attacks because if you let this attack multiple times with like a, Twinning Blade, each time is going to have go again. Kind of cool. Parry Blade, people were freaking out about this one. I don't think it's that interesting. Like, sure, it's new design space to be able to block with your weapon, but I don't really see that as like too revolutionary. That's like a pretty easy marriage of like, what an offhand was doing with a weapon anyway. I don't know. This one just, it doesn't impress me that much that you can block with a sword. It's like cool thematically, but mechanics wise, something like beat chest, like choosing discarding, even though that might not seem as cool as like, oh my god, my sword can block. I think it matters more that we've gotten a mechanic like beat chest than like the ability to now block with some weapons. Parry Blade is considered both a weapon and an equipment. Oh, I guess that's interesting. It is called a warrior weapon equipment for whatever stipulations matter there, rather than just weapon. Parry Blade is the one-handed subtype, which means it must be equipped to a weapon zone, not an equipment. Sure. This can be declared as the defending card because it has the equipment type. Yep. Makes sense. Up the ante. It's not even new. We've had Nitromechanoid for a while. Equipment weapon. Damn right, Josh. Man, why aren't you just a content creator? I've heard so many people say, oh my god, block with weapons. The game's changed forever. You're damn right, Josh. You're damn right. How old is Mechanoid? When that come out? Beginning of last year, right? No, beginning 2 years ago. 2022. 2 freaking years ago. My God. People got to get with it. Up the ante. Target wagers an agility token. Oh, yep. That's all the text. Each wager ultimately created by Up the Ante is separate from any other wagers of the attack. Each wager triggers and resolves independently of one another. You may choose an X value greater than 3 when you play Up the Ante. If you do, you can still only select each mode once. That's interesting. I actually don't know if anyone has specifically said that, because like even when I watched Josh go over, and I think Nathan did as well from the card guys, when they went over this card, I don't think they talked about the fact that you can push it higher. Like the ceiling damage-wise is much higher because it's just X. It's not X. It's not like up to the 4 modes. Wow. I don't know if that was specified. I mean, it makes sense when you read it, but I think people might have assumed that like X is limited to 1, 2, 3. Interesting. All right, we got some spice. Unless I'm stupid and I just missed that everyone was already talking about that. That's new. The value of Y is determined at the time the effect is generated when the card resolves, not when the card is played. The value of Y, that's right. Actually, I don't know if any other card has used X then Y before. I noticed that the first time I saw it as well. I mentioned it on the Runaways podcast, but I haven't gone and referenced whether that's true. I don't think I've seen X and then Y on a card though, but it's nice to know that that's the kind of naming system going forward. It makes sense. It does make the sense. I guess you are kind of capping yourself though, because what if you need to use X, Y, Z, and then a 4th? Then what do you do? What will you do with past Z? Do you go to lowercase x? Do you go to A? Well, now, we got to explore that ceiling one day. I'm interested. When you choose the modes of Up the Ante, you can choose the order that the modes resolve in. You can choose for the attack to wager from the modes 1 through 3 before the value of Y is calculated for mode 4. Okay, does that functionally matter? You're going to choose for the attacks to wager from the modes 1 through 3 before the value of Y is calculated. Does that actually matter? I mean, like, you can't play anything in between that, right? Like, priority isn't passed between those. I don't think that's what I'm reading here. Huh. I wonder if that's just like a functionality thing where if you on the table, you're just like, are we going to wager this? Are we going to wager this? Are we going to wager this? Okay, cool. I get +3. It's not like your opponent actually gets to agree or not to the wager, but like maybe for mental math, you can like psych some people out. I don't know what the point of that is. W is after Z. Okay, I'll believe that. Attack reactions can only be played for or activated by an attacking hero during the reaction step. Up the Ante cannot be played during the reaction step of an ally attack. Yep. In a multiplayer game, if the Up the Ante targets... Okay, here we go. Future-proofing. Not just UPF, but a multiplayer game. If Up the Ante targets an attack that targets multiple opposing heroes, the attacking hero will create a wager effect with each of the defending hero for each mode with a wager chosen. This will also impact the number of times it has wager, counting each wager created this way towards the total value of Y. Alright, so there's like an ultimate combo incoming where you've got like Yorick as part of, I don't know, you got like Yorick, Olympia, and Teklevossen. And someone assembles all the Evos, right? They play Apocalypse Automaton. Then they play Up the Ante onto the Automaton. And then pummel it and Gigawatt. How high can you actually get that sucker? I mean, it's UPF, so like ceilings of things are insane. Because in theory, you could be Shiana doing this. Copy a KO's ability if the table is like... No, because you need a 5-player UPF game. All right, you're rule breaking to like really get the ceiling up there. That's funny though. I like that. I like that a lot. Raise an army. Warrior action, Kasai spec, yes, yes, yes. You can choose the value of X at the time you play Raise an Army. You may declare X as any number. Is this a typo, or is this supposed to be a 0? As any number O or greater. You can choose the value of X at the time you play Raise the Army. You may declare X as any number. Is this a 0 and the font is just weird? I think it is, right? Because that's a 0. Oh man, this font. Come on. You can't have your zeros like legit be O's. Man, at least bold it or something. You can choose X to be 1 or more, and you cannot destroy that much gold. You cannot play Raise an Army. Okay, yep, makes sense. If cards and tokens you lose can't game names... Oh, we got the amnesia box coming back in. I love it. Maybe it would be better at the very end, just one amnesia reference point, and just say, you know what, amnesia actually like does nothing this set, except for that one Victor interaction, the second Victor text. Effects that use this name will fail to find identify objects. You will be unable to destroy any objects with the name gold. Oh wait, actually, here we go. Amnesia does affect the Kasai now. All right, we've got 2 of like the 6 times amnesia was referenced, 2 real use cases. It stops Raise an Army, that makes sense. And then it stops Victor's second ability. There we go. Have I gone over the new brute weapons? We're kind of just going through all the release notes because they're brand new and trying to find if there's like anything too spicy. I think there's been like some spicy stuff. If I was reading this one correctly, then... Oh, wait. Hold up.
Whoever said dog was
I think I read this incorrectly. The power is only connected to the number of times you wager. So you can pay into it, but that doesn't do anything to the attack. All right, hold up. We didn't discover anything spicy. Nothing. I guess Betsy triggering multiple times. People already knew that if you read the card, I think. Oh, dang. You don't just get plus Y being Y is not X. We were talking about this. How did I miss this? Y is not X. You get specifically the number of times there's a wager. Oh, no. We got no juice. I've lied to you all. No juice. Oh my god, I failed algebra. Live on stream. X is not Y. X does not equal Y. Mother of God. All this talk about W. I lost the plot. Oh man. Alright, so what did we really learn then? Mini Meat-Axe is like kind of cool in Decano. We learned that the first line of Victor still triggers through amnesia, but the second line doesn't. That's it. That's all I got. You may play this attack on the active... What card is this? Take the upper hand. Yes. You may only play this if the attack on the active chain link has wagered. Yep, that's like literally the rule. Attack actions can only be played or activated by an attacking hero during the reaction step. Take the upper hand cannot be played during the reaction of an ally. Yep, I mean that's like a base rule anyway. You can't react to allies. Hold 'em! I don't think I've seen this card before. Like I'm sure it's out there, but it's just like not that interesting. It's just, yeah, when you attacking me a wager. Okay. Separate from other wagers in the attack. Yes, we knew this. This is nothing special. Once again, Goblet of Blood Run, immune to amnesia. OP. Talk a big game. Choose a number the next time you deal that. Oh, this is one of the promo cards with the hyena dude on the art. Choose a number. The next time you deal that much or more damage to a hero this turn, create that many tokens. This is such, oh my god, like I love this card. This card remains one of the most interesting ways that I think you'll interact in this set. Like this one is not a true wager or clash. It's like an actual deal you make with your opponent. It's not just like a printed keyword. You and your opponent are going to sit there and you're both going to like try to value out like how to interact with this card to make sure that the value isn't like dumb. You would hope your opponent can like make that kind of choice, right? It's cool. I like this card. I don't think it's probably that good, but you know, it's a blue block 3 as a floor, which is nice. Yep. You may choose the number when Talk a Big Game resolves. Yep. Okay. To trigger the effect, you must deal at least the chosen amount in a single event. Yep. If you deal more than the chosen amount of damage, you will still only generate the chosen number of might. If you chose 6, but you deal 6, you only create 5. That makes sense when you read it, but maybe people miss that. Effects that deal anything other than damage do not trigger this effect. Okay. Mighty Wind-Up. This has an ability that can only be activated from your hand. Yeah, I think Josh confirmed this on like the Judge Discord or something. So you can't do it from your arsenal. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Yep. Runner. Anything spicy. Runner triggers when it resolves on the stack and becomes an attacking card, whether as Gogan is checked on the resolution of the trigger, not when Runner attacks. So it's not like you can hit it with Razor Reflex, but in a situation similar, that's kind of cool. You can't really do that. Like Art of War doesn't retroactively apply Go Again, which is just such a shame. Such a shame for Levia. If it did, that'd be kind of a cool interaction. I'm sure there's other things that come up there, but when this defends, Clash of the Attacking Hero, Test of Agility. Yep. If there's no attacking hero, this will still trigger, but the clash effect will fail. Okay. Same agile card. Same kind of like wage card. Yes. Double down. You may destroy a gold rather than pay double down's cost. Oh, this is another promo card. I really love. All right. I'm not going to tease another card or another screenshot from my spoiler for you. I already shared enough, I think. But oh wait, this isn't the card art I was thinking of. Oh dang. There's a Guardian card that is so freaking. Oh, this one. I love the idea of this card that like there are humanoid guardians, or like, I mean, you'd assume these are the guardians that are just like giants. It almost makes me think that these dudes, like the Mangle guy, that they're that same kind of massive. You don't really get that sense of scale, you know, like he's holding the head and it looks similar, but you can hold out hope that like maybe we get like a giant as a guardian. I don't know what that would do stylistically, but I did play with that a little bit in the spoiler video as well. I'm telling you, the spoiler video is so freaking hype. A lot of references to heavy hitters in it, and not Double Down, the other one made it in. All right. If the attack is already defended by 2 or more action cards, then it gains overpower. The defending action cards are not retroactively removed. Cool. If a player would create 2 or more different tokens from a wager, that player would create 1 more of each of those different tokens for that wager. If an attack wagers an agility, a might, and a vigor, and a player wins the wager, that player instead creates 2 agility, 2 might, and 2 vigor. Oh, that's because of this line of text. If a hero would create 1 or more tokens from a wager this turn, instead they create that many plus 1. Okay, cool. I actually like totally missed that's what this card was doing. If an attack has 2 or more wagers, this effect applies to each wager separately, even if they create the same token. If an attack wagers a gold, then wagers another gold, and a player wins the wager, that player instead creates 2 gold tokens for each of those wagers, for a total of 4 gold tokens. Sheesh. Whew. That is quite the winning bet right there. This is a Guardian Warrior. All right, I see the Olympia reference. Stack up the golds. Effects that cause a player's cards and tokens to lose and can't gain names. Oh, the Amnesia line. Do not prevent tokens from being created when resolving effects on other cards. Double Down's replacement effect will still apply. After they created, they lose and can't name. Okay. The Amnesia line. It's back. Yep. Generic cards. These are all like the UPF suite of cards, right? If you defend with Headliner, then an opposing goes from greater to less. Headliner's helm will automatically be reduced. Cool. Let's do it. I think these are all going to be the same line of text, aren't they? It is interesting that they don't have consistent naming conventions. Like they're all different for that same effect. Normally, you always see it grouped up similarly. Iron Hide, Iron Rot, Null Rune, yada yada. Headliner Helm, Stadium Centerpiece, Ticket Puncher, Grandstand Leg Plates. They sound a lot cooler for just being like kind of the baseline set of equips, but that's fine. Bloodied Oval. See, that one sounds really cool. But it's the same. Wage Gold. This is our boy Joe Sapp. All the way in card form. I think his name's Joe Sapp. It's the bodyguard dude for James White. Very nice guy. He's been singing on Twitter, actually. If you want to hear I mean, he plays guitar and sings like pretty damn well. He's been posting on Twitter. They've been fun parts of my day. I happened across a video of him. All right, Universal. Oh, so there's 2 Universal cards. I didn't notice this was Universal. Wait, legit? How did I miss this card says Universal? Oh, wait, I'm thinking of Starting Stake. All right, never mind. I'm wrong. I'm thinking of this card. That's what I get for not memorizing the set yet. I'm thinking of this. That's why I was freaking out. Like, this is Universal? Like, there's no way. It's because I was wrong. Wage Gold is this one. Dang it. Dang it. All right. Dude, this is such a scuff stream. I don't know this set at all. But that's fine, because I need to learn it now, since I'm in charge of the upcoming Celebrational calling. Might as well dip my toes in the water. And this is like, 10% of the set, and we're already floundering. What a great look. What a great look. So, why are we seeing all the Universal text on that other card and not this one? What was the other card that had all the Universal text? Because I thought, like, we already saw it. Oh, just in the Universal keyword itself. Alright, that's why I'm tripping up. I get it. I get it. That's why, in my head, we'd already seen this card. Because Universal's in the keyword portion. Okay. Money where your mouth is. The next attack this turn. This is generic. You may wager a gold with them. Okay. Yep. This is conditional, not controlling any object that is both gold and a token. Interesting. On not controlling any object that is both gold and a token. Wow, so you could have gold that's not a token in theory. So it's future proofing. Wait, why is this line of text? Oh, no. Oh, shoot. Wait, I have it backwards. It's conditional on not controlling an object that is both gold and a token. So, rather, if there is something that is gold but not a token, it still triggers. Okay. Well, it's still future-proofing. Still future-proofing. Test of Strength. People have been hyping up this card. Stackswell thinks this is the new Codex of Frailty. Maybe it's just hype to try to push that TCG player bundle. It's out there. It is out there. You want to get this card in highest rarity. Hopefully at breaking point levels of value, which is like $120 card in the last bundle. Here you go, Test of Strength is the TCG player bundle card. If there's no attacking hero, yep, okay. Expansion slot cards. Is there spice here? You'd hope that maybe there's some more spice here. You may activate Graven Call additional times in response to itself. If you do, you must pay the additional silver. If Graven Call is already equipped to a weapon zone when its ability resolves, it will not be equipped again, nor will it gain an additional +1 counter. Additional times in response to itself. So really the use case of this is, in theory, you activate Graven Call. Your opponent layers some effect that tries to banish it. You can play the Graven Call effect again, so that the banish effect would fizzle. I don't think there's anything at instant speed that really stops that, but that's in theory what this is really playing around. I don't think there's another interaction, right, that this is really doing anything for. Maybe you want to break your silvers because Kyloria is hitting you and you'd rather them draw a card instead of the silvers. I don't know, maybe something like that. There's play. Coercive Tendency. Oh, I can't wait to see what this card does to Arachne. If you complete a contract this way... Okay, that's not a text line. If there's no defending hero, you do not look at or banish any cards. Cool. If an attack with contract is on the combat chain, its contract effect is active while still in the combat chain. Yep. We knew that, right? That's just how a go-again contract works in the next one. Cool. Cool. What's Ethan? Sorry. What's up, Ethan? Sorry about the flight. What's up, Emery? Yeah, flight's okay. We're staying positive. I lose my free day is basically what happened. I lost my free Sunday. I was going to have one vacation day before the work starts. That day is now gone. It is instead spent kind of half with you all. And then also adding to the travel time, because my travel time went up from 23 hours to 28 hours on the rebooking. So losing quite a bit of time, that I can't spend too productively. But that's okay. That's okay. Thanks for being here, Emery. Starting stake. Yes, thank you for the correction, Josh. Okay. Judge, jury, executioner. The hype on this card went from like all-time high to no one's talking about it. I guess it's like hard to talk about a singular card that you can only play as a one of that the Azalea people already figured out for like that long. But there was like a lot of hate initially that I think specifically has tapered off, which is fine. Like that's good. That's what you want to dissipate, right? You don't want the harsh takes lingering. The hero hit chooses what card? The hero hit chooses what cards to discard from their hand. Oh, you know what? That's not like immediately face up, and I never thought about it, but I wonder what the Azalea people thought happened here. They discard all but one card from their hand. Like, I don't think it wasn't like obviously at random. It doesn't like say that the Azalea player discards it. So I think it's like pretty assumed that the hit player was the one already making this choice. But maybe there were people who read it differently. So that's clarity. Cool. If the hero hit has 0 or 1, they do not discard any cards. Makes sense. That's why it's worded all but 1. Doesn't say discard 3, blah, blah, blah. Down to 1, all but 1. Makes sense. Reel in. A card that, you know, it is a Riptide card. It is a Riptide card. I don't know if it's a very good one. But you choose the value of X when you play Reeled In. Yes. If you have fewer than X cards in your deck, look at all the cards in your deck. Yep. You may choose any number of trap cards from the cards you're looking at, including 0. Makes sense. Sonata Galaxia. Back when I was messing around with Vinset, this unfortunately was not coded on Talishar yet. So I played so many games where like I was excited every time I saw this card and then remembered, oh, it's not coded yet. I should take it out of my deck. Then I'd play another game and wouldn't take it out of my deck. See it and be like, oh, this is so sick. Hold up, it doesn't work yet. It was like a loop. I don't know what it was. I was caught in the Sonata loop. I just like got so excited to play it, even though it didn't do anything on Talishar. Like 8 games in a row. 8 games in a row. Card's cool though. I like it. You may choose the value of X when you play Sonata. Yes. The base cost of Sonata Galaxia is twice the value of X that you choose when it is played. Yes. You do not gain an action point from the go again of the Runeblade aura you put into the aura. Put it into the arena, then shuffle. Is that... You do not gain an action point from the go again of the Runeblade aura that you put into the... That you put into the aura. I think this is a typo. It should probably say arena. Right? You do not gain an action point from go again of the Runeblade aura that you put into the arena. Either way, though, I wonder how people thought about that. I kind of thought you would get go again. So if you put like Runeblood incantation, right? This has go again, but I guess when you put something in, it's overridden. Makes sense. Makes sense. I got you, Josh. I got you, Josh. Doing your job for you. That's 2 typos. And you should change the font for the numbers. Just saying. Just saying. Choosing a Runeblade aura with cost less than X does not change the value of X for the remainder of the card. With cost less than X does not change the value of X for the remainder of the card? What does that mean? Cost less than X does not change the... Oh, it's for the second... I see. That's what it means. Even if you search for something cheaper, if you paid into this, you will still gain go again. Okay. Cool. I think that might be new. That might be a new piece of info. I don't know if people knew that. I wasn't that involved in like the Runeblade chatter around this card, but to me that is a new way to understand the card. Cool. Dissolve Reality. This is the one that Nathan was saying was a bit too late. I agree. Each hero creates a ponder token regardless of whether they've put a card from their arsenal on the bottom of their deck. Yep. Luminaris Angel's Glow. That's actually the stream that I want to make sure I free up time for. I'm going to be ending stream within like 10 minutes or so you can all go check out Will Bradshaw's stream. He's going to be doing some Prism testing right after this, and it is all about the new Luminaris. Because granted, there are still a couple expansion slots that we don't know, right? So if we look at the placeholder cards and go to the expansion slots, There are quite a few cards. Right, 3 cards at least. I don't think these would be tokens, right? They're all like in the expansion slot. 3 expansion slot cards that we don't know. One of these, in theory, could still be Illusionist, right? Because this one, like in how they're broken up by type, in theory could be Illusionist. I don't think it would be. Not too sure about that, but, you know, could be. So if you're trying to do experimenting with Luminara stuff, you might as well tinker now. There's not much left to reveal there. If there is a yellow card, yeah, okay, yes. Both your first action attack card with Herald in its name and your first angel attack each turn get go again, not just one or the other. Yeah, I think that's how you read the card, yes. If you give an attack action card or an angel attack go again after it has resolved and you've passed the link step for that chain link, you will not retroactively gain an action point from go again because it is too late. The link step. If you give an attack action card or angel attack go again after it has resolved and you've passed the link step for that chain link, you will not gain go again because it is too late. So when do you have to do it? So it's basically saying if you like play the Herald or whatever and start with a blue pitch, but then flash in an instant and pitch a yellow, then that's when it's too late. I think that's all it means. So like you have to lead your turn with a yellow pitch before you like play the first thing. Okay. I don't know why it took me a second. That's all it's saying, right? I'm pretty sure. This is a static effect. If you attack with a Herald or Angel, then put a yellow card into your pitch zone, it will give that attack go again if it is the first Herald or Angel respectively. Wait, what? Wait, hold up. Isn't this what I just said the first point is referencing, but now it's saying it works? Oh, give me a second. Give me a second. If you attack with an Herald or Angel and then put a yellow card into your pitch zone, it will give that attack go again if it is the first Herald or Angel respectively. Okay? So you can do it later. But this is saying if you give an attack action card or Angel attack action go again after it is resolved and you've passed the chain link step for that chain link, you will not retroactively gain go again because it's too late. Oh, so like the link step is like, the link step's way after. Oh, that's all it's saying. Like way after, like second chain link now. All right, I get it. That's all, that's it. Chain link step or link step, whatever. That's what it means. If cards and tokens you lose and can't gain names, oh, the amnesia line. Effects that use names will fail to identify objects with any specified names. Under this effect, the first attack action card with Herald in its name you play will not get go again. Your first Angel attack will still get go again. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's cool. So it shuts half of it. So you got the scepter in your hand and like, you don't really know what you're doing with it, but you can wave it and something still happens. All right, amnesia. I see you. Token specific notes, agility. This triggers and resolves in the start phase. There's no priority and it cannot be responded to. Yes. Cool. Destroying agility at the start of your turn is not optional. It'd be bust if it was optional. Centauri Sellsword. Ooh. Effects that apply to attacks. Will apply to attacks made by Centauri Sellsword. That's so sweet. Love it. If you activate the attack ability... Oh, actually, hold up. A note on this. I really do wonder how much of Kasai's play pattern is like the stickiness of Centauri Sellswords. Like, is she only strong when she sticks some Centauris? Or does she have like real play? And then the Centauris are just like a, you know, cherry on top kind of snowball capability that she has. But the fact that a lot of attacks do reference like warrior attack is cool because like that opens up the Centauris aren't just their own cutesy thing. They actually have synergy with some pieces you can put in your deck. That's cool. If you activate the attack ability of a weapon and the combat chain closes before you reach the attack step, you are not considered to have attacked with a weapon. Yeah. Alright, so Spectre stuff. Alright, there we go. That is it. That is it on the release notes. Do we have any other new articles to review? I guess you kind of have a new article if you make your way over to fabric.gg. I did write an article about the Celebrational. So there you go. Saved you the trouble, LSS. Kasharn, you get to take a break, buddy. Here we go. The entire guide to the Celebrational is out there on Fabric if you have further questions about it. I'm like slightly updating it here or there as I find out more information, because truly, I don't think the players, I don't think the judges, I mean, I'm telling you right now, as like the coverage team, no one knows like 100% of the details, but we're getting ever closer. So like recently I found out that while there is no like public play option for the Celebrational, if you show up to the Skyline venue, you are allowed in, and you can watch the Celebrational in a theater room. I knew about the theater room, but I thought it was just for like, you know, LSS staff and like +1s to hang out. But it turns out that is like totally public. So if you want to show up and just like hang out, if you know, have made dinner plans with some of the guests later and are just looking for like, you know, some hours to burn, turns out the venues are open to the public, the Skyline venue. So there we go. We're finding out little things constantly, and I'm updating this article as we go. So give that a look-see for sure, since the Celebrational is so close to us here. Let's take a look real quick at what the people be saying. Let me preserve the chat here since it's so broken. Here we go. I brought you with me. Not only did I bring you with me, Ethnic Smoke has appeared. We've been blessed. What's up? It's like reverse hypothermia. You need to have yellow card in the pitch before resolution step. Reverse hypothermia. Great way to look at it. You know, we are going to the sunny land, the summertime that is New Zealand right now. Reverse hypothermia makes a lot of sense. I was warned to bring sunscreen. It is like truly hot summer. We have 2 assassin, 1 is a spec, 2 ranger, 2 illusionist, 1 is a spec because we only have 1 light illusionist. So for Runeblade, you hope you get a Vinset spec. I mean, is that like a hard rule or just an assumption? I mean, imagine we're holding out hope and it's like another Slay-esque card. Little unfortunate if that's the case. A Slay-esque card. The flavor win is interesting, but you know, I'm sure people would be more hyped for something you can actually play. Just guessing. I think that's like a pretty mild take though. If you pitch a blue for a Herald in the first chain, but then pitch a yellow for the second chain, the first chain doesn't suddenly gain Gogan. Yeah, okay, so that's all it was saying. We got there. You wouldn't call it super hot, but a major difference to the USA. I mean, like, we were snowed in New York recently. The snow like melted, it didn't stick, but you know, we had like a solid 6 inches out here. So to think that in just a day, well, not just a day, 28 hours of travel, legitimately longer than a day, I will be where it is sunny. That's exciting. That is actually so exciting because it ain't that fun out here. All right. What else? We're basically like done with the stream. I just want to do something because, like I said, it's not that I'm not streaming because I'm lazy, folks. I work like a freaking pack mule. Like I do. When I have the free time, also the mental clarity, because if it's like a free afternoon, but like I need that free afternoon, I'm not going to stream. Like it is what it is. But this is proof. I didn't think I'd be free tonight. I thought I'd be on a plane headed to New Zealand, but I was free. So you know what? Stream. It's something I really want to bake into a set schedule once I have the next couple months figured out streaming wise. You know, because I would really like to keep my schedules open as much as possible to do coverage. I felt so bad about missing Cincinnati, like 2 weeks ago. It just didn't line up for a couple reasons. My girlfriend, her mom was staying with us. So we just had, you know, there was just more to do at home. I couldn't really take the car. On top of that, in terms of just like preparation and like, you know, adding extra travel, maybe something breaks, turnaround time before New Zealand, it was just like a little bit too fast. But if I had a better plan, if I could plan like 2 months out in advance all the events and like make sure trips like my girlfriend's mom coming to visit are around streaming dates because I do get to call like streaming my job, you know? That's the ideal. So I want to have some hard dates set in the record books soon so that I can legitimately say, okay, my schedule is going to be Monday through Friday, like streaming, travel time, whatever. Tuesday's my day off. Wednesday, I'm going to stream all day on Talishar, whatever. Thursday is like my Runaways, you know, testing day because I'm still like full-time on the team, right? And then like Thursday, oh wait, we're out of days already. Look at that. Look how fast a week goes by. Friday, or wait, not Monday to Friday. Friday to Monday is what I meant to say. Friday to Monday, travel, streaming. Tuesday off. Wednesday, Talishar stream. Thursday, Runaways day. And all of a sudden the week's gone. So there we go. I do be busy a little. And most recently what I was spending time on, I swear people, it's the coolest thing you've ever seen. You don't even have to, thank you Caleb, by the way, sub there. It is so amazing to me that this Lego spoiler ended up being as good as it is. I'm not trying to like hype myself up. That's not what it's about. Because like I didn't do animation wise, this is like my first try. It's not like I'm a god or anything. I'm like far off. But in terms of like, holy crap, I actually did it. And I did something that 10-year-old me would have watched and just had their mind blown. If 10-year-old me saw this spoiler video, they'd be freaking out and would have like bought into Flesh and Blood in an instant on top of being like a Lego-holic. So I hope I think I accomplished what I wanted to with this spoiler video. It's awesome. It's coming out on Monday. The card is not overhyped. I'm telling you, the animation itself is not overhyped. So please, make sure this video gets the views it deserves. We're trying to beat 3 floating. Gosh darn it. I think in terms of all-time high spoiler videos, they're number 1 and I'm number 2. Something like that. But I want number 1 back in my court, all right? Yeah, they're at 11K views for Max Nitro. I'm good friends with them, by the way. I'm joking here. But I'm at like 10K views with not even 10K with the Leviah Redeemed. I want my number 1 back. And by God, we're gonna do it with the Lego Flesh and Blood. All right, that's it, people. That's it. We'll sign off with some chat stuff, and then I'm off tomorrow morning, flying out. Hopefully making it this time to New Zealand. This time. Oh, all right. Josh, thanks for being here. Emery, thanks for being here. New Jersey Damo, thanks for being here. And yeah, I'll see you all next week on stream. Whatever's cooking, it's going to be good. Flesh and Blood's good. Life is good. Legos are cool. And with that, I will pass you off into the good, capable hands of Will Bradshaw, who is streaming on the Card Guys basically right now. Peace. Woo! Step, arms, spin. What? Woo! And slide and tango. 1, 2, 1, 2. Slide.